let me ask you then, since you are out, what is the darkest, scariest thing that Brian has ever seen, whether it's supernatural or not, in Providence?
It was his freshman year in high school. The bell had just rung for the end of the day, and Brian was making his way around a corner in the corridor or the hallway, trying to get out of the building, when a couple of kids, a couple years older, stronger, more athletic kids, grab him and pull him into the bathroom. They told him to put his fists up, that they were going to fight. They made Brian fight. If he didn't, they'd just kick his ass harder. They like to go for the throat first. Someone who gets punched in the throat doesn't know how to fight back. Their concentration is on their next breath. And then after enough punches, they leave him bleeding on the floor.
That's frightening. I'm going to leave you in your dream in that bathroom. That's where you are right now.
Oh man, I ask her what she means by that.
Roll plus reflexes.
No.
As you see her cane hand come up in a flash, and she's bringing that cane straight down towards your noggin.
12.
A 12. You get the worst of it, but she clips you right on the top as you duck your head out of the way, and you know she was not pulling her punch. It smacks the table. Don't ask foolish questions. You knew an education was coming. And if you didn't, then you've spent too much time enjoying this beautiful world and not thinking about eternity, heaven, and God, lollygagging like a little girl. It's time you grew up. The cane's coming back around. What are you gonna do?
Duck, avoid, get out of the way.
Give me another roll.
Oh my god.
Oh.
A 6.
Yeah. This time you go black, and it stays that way. She was meant for you to take over the family. Do you think that's what she was talking about?
Yes, yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know exactly what she means about not thinking about God and heaven and hell. I mean, I honestly, Eleanor's not religious. I'm not religious, so.
All right. Why don't you, before we get out of here, roll see through the illusion. Roll plus soul.
7.
You will eventually wake up, and the pain is excruciating. Granny was not nice when she hit you with her cane, like you've seen her take a swing at a dog before. She obviously hit you square on the head, because you can feel it there. You've taken a couple of licks. This time, when you come to, however, you're not lying on the table. You're lying on, it seems to be a floor, hard packed, possibly stone. I'm not going to give you enough time to investigate tonight. I'm just going to let you know that you're lying there, and you feel the cold of your nakedness as a group of people, hooded, are slowly closing a circle around you. You can kind of see up into a couple of the hoods. They're pretty big, those big, large cowls. The faces that you see are female. One of them you recognize as a family member that you might have seen a couple of years ago on a visit. They all have sort of this disappointed look on their face. But your head swirls and you pass out again.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll bring you Daisy's heart, and you give me all the things.
Oh, that's right. She didn't know, did she? When we left you, that witch creature had Elliot in her grip, lifted up, choking her.
Yep. Foreign, maybe Latin words. Closes her eyes and focuses as the words become more familiar in her mouth, and she takes her palm and she puts it on Elle's face. The blood gushing down her cheeks, and Sabella rakes her palm like across her face, down her chest, and her whole body, all the way down to her toes. Was that? What is happening? Are we? This isn't real, right? It's just a dream. It's a nightmare.
I don't even know, Sabella. I was where was I? I was with you and the old hag lady, and then I was with you again, but and then Elle's face just goes pure red, and she like backs away from you, and she's like, never mind.
What? Wait.
A week is what came to mind, so bam. Hard move.
Wait, so it's Friday of the next week?
Yeah, it's a week later than you remember.
Is it Friday?
Yep.
All right, then we're fine.
It's next Friday. Maybe remember that I'm ignoring the fact that there were two bodies in your truck bed last night.
Okay,
Well,
do you remember
week ago.
what those two bodies looked like?
I
Deputy?
don't know, but that's an awful lot of blood. Just saying. Be appreciative.
Are you blackmailing me to try to get to know my history? You want a whole ass biography? Is that what you want?
I wouldn't trust you to write one. I'm not really sure that I'd be able to read your chicken scratch.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right, what do you want to know?
No, that's not for now.
I don't like you.
I know. I don't particularly care for you either.
All right, as long as we got that settled. Can I go get my hose now, or are you gonna drag me back with cuffs on?
No, I expect you best get on it. He'll be here pretty soon.
I mean, there's obviously something wrong with me because I'm just talking 10,000 miles an hour and I'm not willing to explain anything. But the look on my face is not happy about the fact that we just made out upstairs, and I look like I could either cry, scream, or laugh at any minute.
We need to get home.
What even is home right now, Sabella? I mean, we are literally standing in the middle of your burning house.
I mean, we can go to the Rose. It's not far from here, right? Okay, all right, let's do it. You gotta get back up because you're gonna get eaten by a big scary dog if you stay down there. I trust you. You gotta, and Sabella just kind of like scoops her up under her arms. Come on, we gotta fucking go. Let's go.
But when you see it, that's going to trigger a repressed memory of that night. And while it may seem like you remember all of it now, there are memories that you don't have, that you don't know that you know. So I need you to give me a roll +0.
Oh boy.
A color in its eyes. And it just stands there, stares at you.
Go on now. I have a feeble attempt at just like shooing it. Like,
Right.
you don't need to be here anymore.
Roll plus charisma.
Oh God, my greatest asset.
Charm the dog.
And then it goes. It would have to have come to your side to do that, but it turns away from you now and goes back towards them. Not fast, it just goes through and then checks you out as it circles you and takes off. Well, you're not the straightest of cops, right? And you know that sick feeling you get in your gut when you've been caught at like the worst thing you could possibly have been caught by at the, that's the kind of feeling you get. It almost makes you want to just like drop and take a shit right there. But you feel a presence. I'll just put it that way.
I do not like that.
I kind of give him another push on his back. Well, come on, something's wrong up there. We gotta go.
Yeah. Let's be quick about it, right?
Right.
There's something wrong with this place.
All right. Didn't die yet. What?
There's a lot to explain. There's a lot that's happened since I last saw you.
Where
but
the
I think
fuck?
first we need to turn around. We need to get back.
Back through the hole in reality?
Yes, before it closes up.
What?
On Sabella's mind has got to be her parents and the question of what would have been down there in that room had you gone and looked. And Elliot might be wondering why her car was there. And Roy, man, she had her back turned several times. You had plenty of opportunities to put a cap in her ass, and you didn't take it. And I don't understand why. There's a man that walks down Highway 72 towards Providence from the north. He can see the lights of some of the yard lights that flicker through the trees. And he speaks out into the quiet night. Well, quiet except for the animals. They call it quiet. Lord, look over me in this place and on this journey, because I don't like these motherfuckers. This whole place, this whole world is fucked up. And I'm a product of this fucked up world. I need help. You know it? First, let me start this drama out with some truth. I was back there in that town. I was shaking and sweating like Colin Farrell in a phone booth. Visions. Tell me what the fuck is wrong with me? Huh? Even those hooker bitches won't even get along with me. This conversation goes on for a while as he enters the Quickie Mart to get some smoke. Some smokes. And then we change the cameras and bring up my wonderful players for today. How are you guys doing today? You have to say something so I know I've got sound.
A good
Something.
Pretty
Doing
good.
pretty well.
Very good.
Pretty
There you
okay.
go.
Not
Now
too
you're
bad.
good. Now you're getting it. We're going to start today with Brian. Corner of what? Oh, I know. Whoops. There. How you like that? And Brian, we left you in a dream. Well, some sort of state of unconsciousness where you were having a lucid moment. How old were you at the time? You said it was when those boys chased you at school.
Freshman year.
Freshman.
So 14, I believe, would be the age.
This was a real experience for Brian.
Yes. This is a memory.
But not like, I mean, you're a psychologist, right? Or a psychiatrist. Mm-hmm. So you know that not all memories are real memories, right?
Correct.
I mean, we can make stuff up and things, so
Absolutely.
Just making sure. Just trying to make sure. How did it end for you in the real, when it really happened?
It went on for the rest of the year.
No, I mean that day. Like
that day?
Once they had you on the floor in the bathroom and it beat the shit out of you?
Yep. They just kicked the crap out of me and then left quietly like nothing happened. I had to stand up and splash water on my face and kind of tore off some paper towel, the brown paper towels that are always too rough, rolled it up and stuck it in a bleeding nose. Breathing was still kind of hard after the fight. And then just picked up my bag and walked out quickly of the school.
So you went straight home? Was this towards the end of the day or did you leave early?
It was the end of the day. Everyone was leaving.
Anything unusual happened to you at the end of that day that you remember?
Not that I can remember. Getting the crap kicked out of you kind of is the worst part of one's day.
Right. Well, your dream didn't end there. You actually go through the rest of your day. It's as if you're reliving it. It's almost a lucid dream sort of situation where you have those same feelings and you feel the pain on your face. But when you look down at your feet, you look bigger. Your optics, right? Your eyes see you bigger, but you don't feel bigger. When you looked in the mirror in the bathroom, you looked like you were that age, freshman. And as you are getting close to your house, you're about half a block away, you hear footsteps behind you, and then a very friendly female voice says, "Hey, Brian, funny seeing you here." And you turn around, and it is the 14-year-old Miss Coolidge. What was her name? Don't give me a hard time about names. I've had this here somewhere.
Oh, hey.
Hey. What you doing?
Just walking home. How about you?
Well, yeah, I was coming to walk home with you, Goofy, like we always do.
How you doing?
Well, I'm pretty good, except I can't find myself here. I'm doing all right. How are you doing? You look like you're beat up.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I got into a fight.
You guess you got into a fight?
Yeah, I guess. And he's kicking a rock down the sidewalk, not even looking up. He's just focused on kicking that rock as they walk.
What are you thinking about as you kick the rock?
Just replaying the whole incident over and over in his mind. Just every second, every movement, every hit.
Make a roll for soul, would you please?
Yeah.
Sherry Coolidge.
I rolled a 10.
You're reliving that moment, and you have this realization that you and Sherry aren't the same age, and you didn't walk home with her every day from school. That part of your dream suddenly becomes very aware to you, and kind of gives you a little bit of a shiver, being that you're a smart guy, doctor. What do you do?
I play it cool. I just obviously make myself aware that this isn't an actual part of that day. I didn't walk home with anyone ever. So this isn't just a memory anymore. It's a continuation of something. But he keeps quiet about it, not wanting to.
Are you
alert.
rationalizing, Dr. Brown?
Trying to.
No. That's what you hear her say to you.
No, I shouldn't rationalize things.
I'm sorry, what? Rationalize? You say the biggest words, Brian.
Sorry, I guess I was in my head for a second. Sherry, isn't your house the other way?
What way?
Down Coolidge. I'm going down Oak Street.
My name is Coolidge, silly.
You're right.
You're supposed to be coming with me. We're going to go play on the swings, remember? She gives you a wink.
Sure. Why not? That might help me.
Make me a roll plus 0.
Okay. $13.
When you step to follow her, she spins around and cuts you short and off guard, and you basically smack faces as she plants a kiss on you. How do you react?
Brian just kind of like stands, not sure what is going on.
She tries to make the kiss last a moment. Do you let her or do you pull away?
I let her. But I'm in my head the entire time. I'm not focusing on the kiss at all. Just I never kissed her in high school. This didn't happen. what is going on?
Make me one more roll plus 0.
$15.
She's kissing you pretty good, Brian, and in a moment you find yourself not in your head for just a second. And as you realize she's continuing to go on with this, I mean, you were kind of like lost in it, and she was just going to town, working on your face for a minute, while you were rambling around in your own logic. And when you sort of make become aware of your situation, you see that she's still there, and it feels nice until she pulls away and her eyes look a little different. They seem older. And she says, "Now, there you are." And everything goes black. But I'll have you back in just a moment. Olivia, you had a similar situation. Everything goes to black. You woke up on what you are starting to discern is a cave, or a part of a cave. You can't see the exit, but it's a tunnel, cavern of some sort. It seems like a cave. So there's probably like 12 or 14 hooded females around you. They all kind of do, as you come to, they're kind of like approaching you and just looking down at you, making you feel very uncomfortable because you are starting to get cold and you realize you don't have a stitch of clothes on. However, I don't know if you get any comfort by the fact that there's not any males there or not. Or maybe I'm just too old-fashioned thinking that we would get uncomfortable being nude in front of the opposite sex. But either way, regardless of your comfort factor, well, now I'm kind of actually curious. What is your comfort factor right now?
Sorry. Definitely not comfortable at all. I mean, it is nice to know that it's all women, but this is not a good situation. I don't want it.
Right. Okay. So it's not completely the modesty. I mean, it is kind of cold and wet, and they're all.
Am I tied?
No.
Am I tied up? No.
No. They've just got you. They've just got you there. There's some whispering and some conversation that you can't really discern. And then your grandmother sort of steps between them all and peers down at you. She said, "Oh, well, you're coming too, I see. That's good. You did very well. Come now, it's time to complete the ritual."
I am looking at my grandmother, looking at everyone around, definitely shivering, mostly from fear, and I am chilly. I look around for clothes. Is there anything that, like a robe or something I can put on myself?
Yeah, as you look around, you don't see anything on the floor. There's nothing like against the walls, but after she made the announcement that it was time to complete the ritual, the other women start to move towards an exit of this cavern into a smaller tunnel. And at the entrance, as they all start to file down this tunnel, there is one of them who holds a white, simple, like a one-piece dress, I guess it would be. And it sort of seems obvious that she's waiting there for you to hand that to you, as everybody else has clothes. I now have stinky cheese floating up in front of me. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Oh man, I am looking for an exit, like just kind of following along with everybody, but definitely looking for an exit. I'm trying to think of ways to escape this, but I'm clearly outnumbered. I don't want to put on this dress, but I'm very cold.
Right. Why don't you make a perception roll and observe a situation move, and you can ask a couple questions, or at least one, and see if you can get some more information.
A 4. Is that 0 questions?
No, you still get one. It just gives me 1, too, so to speak.
Yeah, looking at my grandmother, I'm taking the dress and like hesitating to put it on. What ritual is this? What are we doing here?
Oh, we're going to secure your future, granddaughter, because you do not seem to be doing it quickly enough of your own instinct. Sorry, it drives me nuts. I have obsessions of my own. Or is that a compulsion? I get the two confused. And you also notice, what was your question? Was that your question? You get to ask me a question. You can ask like a bigger question if you'd like.
Oh, ask you a question?
Yeah, you get to ask a real question.
Gosh,
it's like a move type thing.
Now I've just blanked on all the questions. I just
Well, it's like some of the examples are what's my best way through this? What's the biggest threat? Is there something I can use to my advantage? You know, is there something I should be able to look? It's basically like, what do I see? What can I get?
Okay.
And then if you can be a little bit creative with it, that's fine. The ones in the book I use just as examples. It's not like you have to choose from them.
Mm-hmm. Do I see anything that I could use to my advantage, like any kind of weapon or exit?
Well, your fighting prowess being what it is, you don't really notice any weapons. In fact, the situation seems to get worse for you because you notice that there are a couple of them that seem to stall and linger. Like if you try to slow down to see if you can sort of slip to the back of the line, you notice there's a couple of Hildas that aren't going to let you do that.
Cool beans. Yeah, to put on this dress. I don't really see a way out of this. I feel like if I do struggle, they're just gonna knock me out again and maybe do something worse. Just see how this plays out, I guess.
There's just a couple more that as this happens, this doesn't take a whole lot of time. There are a few that file past you. That's about the same time that you realize that the two aren't going to let you go, and you put on the dress. And one of the last ones that sort of is going to go and slide by you is one that you recognize as having been at a family gathering or more throughout the years. She's a couple years older than you, but she comes up to you and says, "Do you need any help, cousin? Isn't this exciting?"
Why is this exciting? What is exciting about this? This does not seem exciting to me.
She gives you kind of a funny look. And she says, "You're going to be the matron mother." It's like What do you mean? What's exciting about it? Every woman, every Hauser woman dreams of it. Are you saying you don't dream of it?
I don't even know what this is. So, no, I don't. No, I don't dream of this at all. I dream about being a vet and moving away from here. I don't dream about this. This is not anywhere close.
When you start to have this conversation, she gives you this really odd look, and then she looks over, like to look towards somebody else. And it's about that time that your grandmother just seems to be there and tells this cousin. She basically gives her the heave-ho, like, guys, get moving. Have you got your dress on? Seems to sort of interrupt the situation. When you go down this little cavern, you notice some lit area, firelight coming from the entrance ahead until it opens up into a much larger cavern. There's a very large open area, and in the center of it, there's this natural rock altar sort of formation that has developed there. It could have been like some stalagmite or stalactite, whichever one comes from the bottom, I forget, and it's been, leveled off or something, but it's broad table size. Altar is the thing that comes to mind, especially with this ceremony that's surrounding it. Brian, that's where you are too when you come to. And Sherry Coolidge is there as well in one of the robes. They're all starting to chant and hum in some sort of weird, not very rhythmic, drony sort of way. And that's what wakes you up, sir.
So I wake up surrounded by people in the middle of the forest.
Yeah. No, you're not in the middle of the forest. You're in a cave.
In a cave?
Is he the only man here?
Better.
As far as you can tell, almost everybody has got these dark cloaks on. But after a few moments, this chanting and stuff starts to rise up, and they get a little bit louder. And then at some point, they all sort of toss back their hoods, and then it is discovered that, yes, indeed, they are all female. And that's, Brian, when you also notice that Eleanor, whom I think you met at the church, is standing over there across the cavern as you are looking out across these women. There's probably 20 or 30 of them now that you've assembled in this larger area. You too are naked. As soon as you notice her naked, or she's not naked, she just put on the dress. The dress is thin, but she's not naked, but you notice you're naked.
Okay.
Your mind, I'm just going to warn you, and because my other GMs do such a great job of this, your minds are going to go into a yellow card topic. Just letting you know that. I don't know if it's a yellow card for you guys or not, because you guys all go, I'm afraid of anything. Just don't kill my pet.
I'm going to go ahead and roll a willpower or keep it together.
Oh, okay.
Chris is really salty that I won't let him kill Ben.
Voluntarily roll a keep it together at this point.
I love that. That's good. Yep. Nice. Modest.
That's a natural 20.
Nice. You do keep it together. In fact, as you sort of take in all of this, being the intellect that you are, you notice the telltale signs that something has happened down there recently. I'm assuming you all are aware of that. And I don't have to explain it. You don't feel physically, but you may have been extracted from. That's probably what I would say.
Okay. But
this
I'm
is,
really
This is when I
chill
was going to
about
make you
it.
roll keep it together. This
Because
was
of
where I
my
was.
keep it together.
Because you preemptively rolled one.
Waking up
all right.
naked in a cave.
Yeah.
Brian's freaking out already.
What are you going to do?
What's going on.
What do you want to do? You're
I'm
intelligent.
gonna try to walk away. Just Brian is just like,
I'm out. Goodbye.
yep, I'm out. I'm gonna try to walk away.
And what is the relationship between you two? Just refresh me, because I don't know if you guys have developed something that I am not.
We know each other. I mean, we know
Like,
of each other, I
small
imagine.
town.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I recognize him, staring at him fearfully, like, what the? No.
I don't know what's going on
I
either.
don't know what's happening.
Can we just leave? I feel like we should just leave. I feel like
You feel.
But we're across the room, right? From each other?
Yeah, but here's the weird thing, Eleanor. You thought your grandmother was walking with you because she had sort of sidestepped or blocked the cousin. And when you see Brian, like, he's, no, fuck this, I'm taking off, and gets up to just, yeah, I'm a free man, right? It's America. I can walk out of here. And when he does, you see Ruth, your grandmother, sort of just step out of the shadows from behind him. And at that time, Brian, you feel this sort of small and thin, elderly, physically hand, but it is firm and hard when it lands on your shoulder, and is all that you need to feel to know that you're needing to stop.
So what is this all about? What is going on here?
They keep chanting in spite of your pleas. And the chanting gets a little bit louder and louder. And at this point, a couple of them go over and they grab Eleanor and they start to bring her up closer to you. And the chanting is rising and stuff. And then another woman comes from somewhere over along the edge. And this woman, you don't know, you couldn't imagine how old she might be. She just looks like this skin-wrapped skeleton. But she smiles, and she has this sort of weird gleam in her eye of happiness, and like she's proud. And they help her over, and she has a small blade in her hand, a knife. A little, I wouldn't even call it a dagger. It's like the size of a paring knife, but it's kind of ornate, you can tell. It glints. And as she's walking up to you both, it flips, right? She's like holding it in one hand, and she's got that weird grin on her face, and it's like she's coming at you like a proud grandmother at first, but then you realize there's like something else behind it. And then you notice the knife is in the other hand. You didn't even see her like do anything. It's just there, right? And then she comes back up. It's in the other hand until she gets up to the both of you. And by this time, they've got you both positioned at the altar side by side, mesmerized about the situation. Eleanor, why don't you give me a keep it together roll?
Okay.
And Brian...
An 8. It is.
Okay, 8. That's not good. This is like too much for you, and what breaks it for you, Eleanor, is when you see that knife flash, and it happens so fast, and you don't even really know how she did it. but in a moment, you both have been struck by it. Like stuck in the gut. It's not a big one. You know, it went in about 3 inches. You didn't really feel it. It doesn't double you over. That's the weird part. Very clean, very sharp knife. And she just kind of looks up at you with sort of this look like she's waiting to see what happens. Eleanor, this is too much for you at this point. What would you start doing? I mean, it's a weird situation. How does Eleanor freak out?
Oh my god, crying, probably, definitely tears in my eyes.
Right.
Like, what the actual fuck is happening? I'm looking towards my grandmother, and I assume like the rest of my family, or like women in my family, and asking them why are you doing this? What the fuck is happening? Definitely hyperventilating, full on panic, for sure.
How bad do you want to flee?
I want to run the fuck away. Flee forever. Flee for days.
As you cry, Brian, you witness this. I almost make you want to roll another one. I might after this. You cry, and you can hear the women, the chanting, it ebbs and it flows. And when you start bawling, because that's what it is at this point, you're going to take at least 2 stability loss, a -2 to your stability. And then you can hear some of them sort of mock it out in the crowd, like they cry back at you, like in some sort of mocking. Yeah. You know, when you sort of like sob, catch your breath or something, you can hear about 4 or 5 of them repeat it. Until, I don't know, I assume that Eleanor's a rather strong-willed person, and you're probably trying to fight it back.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You can't. It's hard, which causes even more stress, and you want to flee. At this point, the answer to your question, the only thing that you think would be your way out of this would be this naked man, this naked 30-something man that's right here. And while the nakedness, however that makes you feel, this is sort of one of those situations where it's like, we ain't got no choice, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely looking at Brian. How are we positioned? Like, are people physically holding us down, or are we?
No, they're just kind of circling around. They're moving in some sort of weird motion. If you look, it doesn't look patterned, but they're kind of acting like it is. And you just don't really seem to get a space. You know what I mean? Every time you seem to think that you've got an opening, then a body fills that hole.
Yeah, definitely am holding on to Brian's hand, mostly for comfort in this very scared situation, bonding moment for sure. But yeah, I'm looking. Like, I want to run away, but I also want to run away with him because obviously he's not a part of this. I don't think he knows that he's what he's gotten himself into.
Right.
Are you ready to run?
Have you guys made a soul roll? Did I make you roll one when you came in?
Mm-hmm.
Roll for soul. Roll for soul. Let's see if we can see through the illusion.
7.
I got a 10.
The old woman sort of puts herself back in front of your vision, and you realize she's been sort of standing there, sort of swaying in the rhythm, watching, observing you two. And you look down. Brian, this is where your You're going to want to roll another keep it together. You see that she's got the knife in her left hand, which is over on your side. And you see that she's got her right hand. Her finger is stuck up inside the hole that she just stuck in Brian. And Brian, you didn't feel her do this, but when you see the look on Eleanor's face and you look down, you see this woman's got her bony finger all the way up to the knuckles. Your camera's here. Knuckler? I see you here, but your eyeballs there. Huh? Do what?
It's a double knuckler?
Yeah. God. All the way in, man.
I rolled a 10 for keep it together.
So how do either one of you think you're going to be able to get out of here?
Brian wants to swing. I want to swing at her. Like, what the hell? Get your finger out of me. I'm swinging.
This is where I use my move. You swing. Eleanor, your instinct, and you almost hate yourself when it happens, is to reach out and block it. And you do rather quickly. And when you do, the anger of you, the stress of the situation for both of you, and some things about yourselves that neither one of you know, you do depart. You do leave the cave. You don't know how you do it, but you do it. And I'll just let you guys think about that for a second, because I want to catch up with our other people here for a little bit before we go to break. I didn't mean to go on so long with them, but it just was so good.
That's okay. It was juicy.
Oh, I see Brian has a yellow. That's the only bad thing about my new sloppy, grungy way of doing pictures now, is that I don't get the advantage of the cheating frames. I have to keep an eye out for that. So you all back at the house are still in the same situation. You just had the experience with the dog, the coming through, the terrors in reality, as it was so eloquently put. And in spite of the time of day that you thought it was, Daisy, one of the things that you notice when you are coming back through is that it's already starting to get on dark. The day has seemingly ended. It was, not a full day has passed. In your gut, you're an old country girl. You know what I mean? You know what a day feels like. That's what my grandma used to tell me, anyways.
You bet your donkey I do.
Yeah, she always told me she could tell me what time of day it was. She didn't need no clock. So, all right, Grandma. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you noticed that.
I mean, it's also Friday of next week, so fuck it,
Right. When you come back through, the very first thing that happens as soon as Roy steps through is his radio starts going crazy. It's just making squelchy noises, just going nuts, and he's grabbing it and cussing at it and doing all of his whatever tricks he tries to do to his belt to get it off. And then you hear the dispatch on the radio sort of cut through all the static and stuff with like some broken words, then nothing, and then Roy's like trying to get through, and then she cuts through again, and there's a scream on the radio, and Roy doesn't even say anything. He just beelines it straight for his prowler and speeds off. About that time is when the tow truck shows up to haul your broken truck. to the repair dude. Because that's what they are, right? Repair dudes.
That's their official title. Well, about time that officer got out of here. I was getting sick and tired of having that around. I'll step out and just kind of dismissively yell at the tow truck guy to take care of that truck, or I'll pop a cap in his ass. Usual Daisy stuff. And then I'll turn back.
Who did you tell
to my living room.
Who did you tell to put a
The tow truck guy.
The tow
I
truck
said, you
guy.
got to take care of old Reliable, or I might be hankering to pop a cap in your ass.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Because that reminds me, Elliot, when you're coming through and you see this, you're broken, right? So you're still having, if Eleanor thought she was having a traumatic moment, it's almost nothing compared to what's going on inside your mind right now. And as you see Roy get in his car and you're watching him, the tow truck is driving up and your eyes follow Roy for some reason. Just one of those things. That's who your brain chose to follow because he was leaving instead of coming, I suppose. And just as he gets, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 yards, you don't really know what happens, but you see a silhouette pop up out of the back seat. And then you see a big splatter of blood all throughout the car, like it just all over the glass, like a head exploded. And the car keeps going.
Elliot screams. I scream so fucking loud, and then I grab Sabella, and I am now hiding behind her, screaming.
I'm not going to make you roll a keep it together because you're so broken. She's just continuously not getting better. I'll just put that. That's your penalty. You're not going to get any stability back anytime soon.
Thanks. No, I am just screaming bloody murder. I'm hiding behind Sabella. My hands are actually starting to probably leave bruises by how hard I'm grabbing your arms.
This is y'all's moment. Elliot's flipping out. You didn't see it. Neither of you saw that. Daisy, you watched the guy hook up your truck. This was already just all happened like kind of in a flash there.
I stepped out onto the porch to kind of yell and threaten him. And then I'll come back in and kind of look at Sabella skeptically and give a mild gesture at the screaming, expecting her to do something about it.
Ow, what the fuck? What's going on?
Roy's head just fucking exploded. There was somebody in his car and now he's dead. I don't know how. Oh my god. And then she walks away from you. So she kind of like realizes she's hurting your arms. So I let go of you and just start like pacing back and forth. My hands are in my hair and I'm like yanking on it. And I'm like going back and forth between pacing and then huddling it on a ball and then back up and pacing and then huddling a ball.
Hey, it's okay. No one was in his car. It's fine. Look, it's driving away. Are you?
No. You don't understand. You don't understand, Sabella. There was somebody in there. And now there's blood all over the windshield. And Roy is dead. This is fucking hell. But Roy is dead and gone and buried. And she's just going off in a very ill manner.
You need to
all right, say that happened. So
down.
What if it's true? It's not our problem. You got to get your priorities figured out.
I mean, there's that. Okay, just go sit down. Go sit down. You're pacing. You're freaking me out. This
isn't my forte. I'll go get you some water or something. And I'm gonna excuse myself from this situation and go to the kitchen.
Yeah, she just like plops her down on the couch.
I'm starting to feel like I need to make Daisy roll her keep it togethers in social situations.
She's like, no social skills. Emotions. No, thank you.
See ya.
Well, let me ask you this, Daisy. Having seen some things that you've seen, especially recently, And you have to sort of, you got to be considering something is happening with Elliot. I don't know. What are your real thoughts? Are you just like, she's being a pussy, or? It's
I don't
Heartland,
quite
right?
remember. Yeah. I don't quite remember a lot of things, as a lot of people know. I've got blocks of things that, I don't know, they're just gone. But I know that I've been in her situation, and she's just got to figure it out for herself. I can relate in a way, but it's not something that you can just sort out through other people's company or anything that makes you feel good, like a blanket. You gotta sit, you gotta have a hard discussion with yourself, and you gotta get your mind back on track.
Right. In the moment that you think that, you're kind of going through these thoughts in your head, sort of trying to figure out how you can give her the, I don't know, maybe some motherly wisdom or something, right? How you can give this to her without hopefully making her scream and bawl some more. It's almost as if she felt what you were thinking, because she lets out another big cry. I can do that with Elliot because she's broken. I can just sort of take advantage of it sometimes. But the point is when you're doing that and you hear that and you almost want to roll your eyes. And in that moment that you want to roll your eyes is when you feel it. That same feeling that you're being watched, and that is what's watching you, and it knows that because you both sense it, you both feel each other. What do you do?
You get her quiet. I just say to Sabella, and I swallow hard, just some spit or something, and tightly turn, and I'll still go to the kitchen. I kind of have a moment in there when I am fetching her water where I grip the edge of the sink and just kind of stare at my slight reflection in there. And then I steel myself, shake off the feeling, make sure the blinds are pulled, and I'll get a glass.
Nice. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to break. And when we come back from break, it will be Sabella and Krista, because I'm not going to let my viewers leave tonight without you two having a chance to discuss your situation. And that may be all the horror you need.
He meant Sabella and Elliot.
What did I say?
Sabella and
Krista.
Krista really needs to have a discussion with herself.
Yeah, I have to really talk about what happened.
We
with
love you,
myself.
Curtis.
We love you.
It's all right.
Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate it.
You're adorable.
All right. I guess that means we need a break. So, yeah, we'll be back in just a few, if I can figure this motherfucker out. There we are. We are back. Now, if I can get this music to work for me or not. But the biggest question that's on my mind, and I think everybody is, because you guys kind of slipped it out the last episode, and then we had to gloss over it because of all of the crazy culty stuff that was happening. But now the cameras followed Daisy in, watched what she did, and there's still a camera sitting in the living room or family room or wherever it is that you two are at this moment. And you're alone. And you have a moment to deal with, I don't know, whatever you might think needs dealt with that has cropped up in the
Cropped up.
Fantastic.
in the near past. Yes, stay calm, remain seated.
So Sabella is just trying to calm Elliot down at this point. I have told her to focus on her breathing, and I kind of pull her head to my chest and I just pet her hair. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm just a pure like puddle in your lap, pretty much. I kind of let you just flop me around like a rag doll, and I'm trying to take deep breaths, and listening to your heartbeat helps a little,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still shaking, and my hands have left my hair alone. There's a handful of strands in my fingers still.
I think you can. Let me pull the card up here. Regain stability in a scene where you experience closeness, assurance, affirmation from a relation. Your stability is improved by a number of steps equal to the strength of the relation value. So at the end of this scene, if I feel you've done a qualifying job, you'll have your 2 stability back. You are 2, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If not, now's your chance to lie.
We are too.
We are too.
Carry on.
Look, I know you probably saw some crazy shit.
Yeah.
It's okay though. I'm here and you're here and that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry that I made you leave your parents' house.
No, you did you did what you had to do. We had to get out there. Did you
Oh. Mm.
did you mean that?
And I'll like I sit up and kind of don't look you in the eye, and I'm fidgeting with, the drawstrings on my hoodie.
Sabella does not allow that. She'll take both of your hands in her hands.
Yeah, I did. But don't feel like you have to. Don't feel like you seriously.
Elle, I know you think that I'm like all calm, cool, and collected, like, and that I'm a rock, and it's because I kind of am, but in a broken kind of way. I don't know if I can love again. I mean, everything. My family was the most important thing to me, and they were taken from me, and loving someone like that is gonna take time.
I know, and I'm totally fine. It's staying friends. If you just want to stay friends, that's
No,
fine.
you
And you just
stupid
see
idiot.
big like tears starting in her eyes, and she's like,
No, that's not what. God, stop. And she like brushes your eye.
She's just giving you big, sad, big puppy dog eyes.
I haven't felt this way in a really long time. And it's because I do love you. But you deserve so much more love that I just don't know if I can do. And I want to try. I want to try to give you the best, but I don't know if I can.
I don't think anyone else would have me. And if they would, I wouldn't want them. So however you feel or however you don't feel, I will always be by your side despite anything that you say. So sorry, you're kind of stuck with me. And she tries to give you like a cheesy grin and it just kind of like breaks a little bit.
I want to be stuck with you. I can't imagine anyone doing any of this weird ass shit that we just did. I can't imagine doing it with anyone but you.
Elle just kind of starts giggling like it looks really goofy as she's trying not to lose her shit. Sorry, I don't.
You're laughing, and I'm pouring out my guts here.
No. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I just, No, I'm really happy to be doing weird shit with you again. I guess. I mean, we always do weird shit, but I mean, this is really weird shit, man.
Yeah, this is out there, but yeah, I'm serious, if you'll be patient with me, I want to learn how to love you in the right way.
Elle just like tries to look really coy, but she's already like scooching closer.
Yeah. It's the slow moment
like
where they're just
forward.
like, yeah, they're looking in each other's eyes, and yeah, Sabella will just kind of do the last little quick bit, and
Nice.
What a perfect moment for me to interrupt.
Yeah,
Right,
actually,
like we're
Daisy,
just about there.
I'm going to give you a bit of a reason. Which side of your house faces those woods where the strange people were coming from? I'll use all those terms loosely.
Were they were behind my house?
They were, I envisioned them across a road, but knowing that you're out on a driveway,
Big ass driveway.
it's kind of like, it would be like the other side of your driveway, I suppose. So I don't know if it circles around your house. We can make it up as we go along. We're playing to find out. I don't know. Where is it?
Well, you walk in and that's the living room where they are right now, and then you walk past the couch and it's the kitchen. I'm kind of surrounded by woods in the kitchen where I am right now, collecting myself and getting that glass of water. There's one of the windows above the sink that kind of looks out at some of the trees.
You see, and for Eleanor and Brian, Dr. Brown, you don't, in continuation from where we left off, you don't really know exactly how you manifested this situation to allow yourselves to escape it. But you have, and you can consider what repercussions there might be about that in the future. But as it sits right now, you're both running out of the woods because that seems to be an open. You see a house in front of you. That's safety. So instincts are going to take over, mainly because Eleanor, while you do have this slip of a cloth dress on, that's practically all it is a slip. And Brian doesn't even have a slip. So they come out of the woods. There's about, I don't know, we'll say, living in the country and the houses out in the real Providence, the way I know them, you've got about, 50 yards from the time you break the tree line until you get to the shelter of the house, until you notice that it is Daisy's face glaring out the window, or
Yeah,
however. Go ahead.
I'm at the sink in the kitchen filling up the water, and I kind of look up because something catches my eye, and I squint and look closer at the window and tilt my head a little bit, and the water is spilling out of the cup because it's full to the brim as I'm just staring at these figures coming towards my house. And I'll look down. Oh, shit. Turn off the water, empty it a little bit, and give them a glare. I do have a back door, which is what they're I imagine they're approaching the back of my house. And it's very locked. Everything's always locked. And I'll go back to the living room. And then in there is another thing that I don't expect. And I stand in the doorway for a little bit with the light illuminating me and the glass of water in my hand. And I stare at Sabella and Elliot kissing on my couch. And
A naked Dr. Brown running through your backyard. Yeah, why don't you roll me a keep it together, Daisy? Another one of these social situations.
yeah, how do I deal with this?
I don't know. I'm just using it as an excuse to
This is a
see
very-
how far Daisy goes to be Daisy. You know what I mean? We'll just
my
see how
God.
Daisy
I
you
think I
get.
still have a -1 to keep it together, so let's see.
I don't think Daisy has ever asked me about
11.
my preferences.
I think it's about to happen.
Oh shit.
If that's a triggering moment for anybody, this is one of those. I have to remember to like announce these things when they're coming.
I got an 11,
All
which
right.
isn't
Well,
that great. So
I'll
I'm
just
gonna
let
pull
you-
a bitch move.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to like police that roll too difficult. You know where that puts you on the scale, and I'll just let you
Mhm.
take it from there.
I don't completely lose it. And I don't take it all too crazy well either. I step close with strangely very quiet steps. Daisy's normally a very heavy stepper. She kind of stomps when she walks, but I slowly step forward and I lift the water and I tip it very, very slowly over both of their heads and drop some of it on top of them.
What? Whoa.
Uh,
What?
Yeah, there's a naked man on our way.
What?
Mhm.
okay. What?
Yeah, Dr. Brian. What are you two doing? What's going on here?
It was, she had,
Oh, you don't need to explain. I know exactly what's going on, but we'll address it later.
all right,
Where's your son?
naked man?
Yeah, Naked Man. Can we go to Naked Man? I mean, no, I mean, don't go to
Wait,
Naked Man.
You
but,
want to go to the,
No, you know, I
mean, Sabella, that
Daisy-
was a way to quiet her, but
Sabella just stands up and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go take a look.
all right, you do that.
Okay. She just goes to the window to
Okay.
look out.
And I just stare at Elliot,
Yeah,
And-
I'm
they're-
not looking
like-
at you.
inch by inch, very slowly hold the water out to her. It's like a dad and a shotgun moment. Like,
I'm just like staring at the ceiling, like.
Sabella, when you go and look, thinking that he might be or they might be further out, you might get a chance to peer, as it were. It's a little bit more shocking that because by the time you get to the window, they're up, they're climbing the steps, they're coming up on the porch, ready to start knocking on the door, unless they just come right on in, which they might, given the shock of their situation. But I'll let you guys play that out.
Oh shit! It's that.
Daisy.
Yeah, no, I
Daisy,
definitely
open the
just
door.
bust in. Like,
What
if the door's unlocked, I'm running inside.
Daisy.
And Sabella
it
is
is
just
not
kind of like.
unlocked, but I am not prone to opening my door to sounds of panic. I'll
Do I-
shove the water to Elliot and just every day it's something and stomp over to the back door with my usual heavy feet and stand by the back door with my arms crossed. Brian, what are you doing? Where are your clothes?
the
I
fuck?
don't have a lot of answers. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Please take me to your strongest liquor.
And what are you
And
doing with the
some
Hauser
clothes.
girl? She's an innocent little lady.
I haven't done
Boy,
a
it doesn't-
thing
It doesn't
except
look
stand
too-
in the middle of a bunch of crazy people chanting, and I
And he
would,
got stabbed.
You got
and-
fucking.
What the?
and then fingered in the hole of the stab. It's been a really odd night. And I
That's
would
not.
like
That's not.
Your
That's not just me.
strongest liquor.
It's not
Are
just
you
me laughing. That's Daisy laughing. Like that cracks her hard exterior, and she kind of chuckles a little bit.
Have you opened the door, or are you just saying all of this through a locked door?
I'm saying all of this through a locked door. I'll open it. I'll take off my locks and open it and step aside and give another just vague hand gesture. Fine. Guess I'm taking in all the strays today. And I kind of say that in Elliot's direction.
I'm just
Oh.
like sitting on the couch, like drinking the water, like not paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh, you have company. Let me just find something to cover
go
up.
upstairs and get some pants or something. I think.
Brian like grabs a throw pillow and just slowly covers himself and then
As
walks sideways up the steps to try
You're
to
gonna-
find clothing.
As soon as Elle sees Brian, like the water just goes spewing out of her mouth. She starts coughing. She's like doubled over, and she's like, "What? What the fuck? Dr. Brown!"
You're
Elliot?
gonna have to wash
the
that pillow.
What the fuck?
I'm not pressing it against myself.
I'm-
And
ah.
Brian walks upstairs.
I'll usher Eleanor in. I'm a little more gentle with her than I was with snapping at Brian to go put some clothes on upstairs. There's some old farm clothes up there. You can probably find a flannel and an old pair of boxers at least. I don't any of my pants will fit you. But
Little
I'll
lady.
I'll set a hand on Eleanor's shoulder and he didn't do anything to you, did he?
No. He didn't. He didn't do anything. Yep. Nope. I'm just taking a moment trying to process what was happening in the cavern, and all of a sudden I'm at Daisy's house now. So
Yeah, Sabella will have made her way back over to the couch, but she won't sit right next to Elle. She'll sit like on the armrest, like nonchalant.
Elle like can't even focus on that because she's still trying to burn the image of her professor butt ass naked right in front of her, and then she's still like coughing and trying to clear the windpipe.
Well, come on in, Eleanor. Do you want me? Should I call your folks?
no, please don't do that. Do you have a cigarette or
Oh fuck yeah, I got
Weed?
cigarettes. Weed.
Did you
think
just say
you think
weed?
I'm the type a person to
Hell
smoke
yeah.
weed?
Oh hell yeah! And like Elle's
I mean-
patting her like pockets of her flannel. Like,
Yeah.
what
Sabella is too.
just something? I'll take everything. I'll double fist it. I just need a moment.
All right, well, yeah, come on in, I suppose. And I'll let go of her shoulder and shut and lock the door behind her and point her towards the living room. And I'll just kind of like rub my face for a while because I'm not privy to company. There's a lot of people in my house right now. But I'll follow her into the living room and toss a lighter and a cigarette over to her, nudge an ashtray forward. There's ashtrays in every corner of this house. So
Everywhere.
Perfect. I'm lighting that cigarette. Taking drags from it.
oh, this is a weird house party.
Seems a weird house party. Hey, Elliot, haven't seen
Hey.
you in a while.
You know, I think the last time I
Mhm.
saw you, I was stumbling out of a bar. So how are you?
You know, I'm I am doing okay. How are you doing? I am looking at her and Sabella, wondering what's happening. Kind of can feel a little tension here. Mostly I just feel inconveniencing Daisy, but because this is her house and obviously she doesn't like people inside. But I definitely am curious.
Why don't you make a read a person roll, Eleanor, and you can ask a couple questions.
Oh,
While
man.
they're dealing with that,
Okay.
I'm just gonna give Sabella a knowing look, and I'll find Eleanor something to cover herself up with.
Sabella just kind of sits there like a kid in trouble.
Oh shit, she got a 19 on that.
Oh,
So
fuck.
there's a box there in the middle. If you see that, read a person, you can get
Mhm.
2 questions. They don't have to be of those questions. Those are just examples to give you some idea. You can frame it however you like to frame it.
I only have really one question for them, but I just point at the 2 of them and like, so what's happening here? What's going on? What's this?
Sabella?
I was figuring
been a-
that out too. I
It's been a
think.
long day.
Yeah,
and,
it's just the longest.
just very long, emotional, just really chaotic,
Surreal day.
fun,
Yeah,
exciting.
I would say good parts too. I think.
Mhm.
There's some good parts. Yeah, I'd agree with
Yeah.
that. And she like she looks at Daisy and then kind of like shrinks, like, "Oh God, don't hit
Yeah,
me."
I come back and I throw a flannel on top of Eleanor. Oh, naked men coming out of the woods, crazy fucking dogs outside, but everybody's horny, so it doesn't matter, I suppose.
I wouldn't.
I
go so
wouldn't
far
say
as horny.
horny.
I
No,
mean,
it was more of
Daisy.
Yeah,
Daisy.
you're young.
Please tell me you have a bottle of bourbon somewhere.
Of
Who
course, I
had
have a fucking bottle of bourbon. Just go to the kitchen.
Okay.
who
and,
had 6th sense? Go ahead.
Me.
Okay.
Brian's gonna cross the room towards the kitchen, look at the 2 of them,
Mhm.
Sabella and Elliot, and just go, so is this new?
oh my god.
Why is everybody so cute? Oh, why don't we
It-
talk about you, Dr. Brown?
Yeah,
I'm
why you
observative.
run around
You-
naked in the
You
woods? Why
came on in here naked. I feel like
In
this
due
is a
time.
I
violation
need a
of
shot
like
of whiskey
FERPA or
first, and-
something.
Can you also give me a shot, please?
Absolutely. I'm just bringing the bottle, and he's gonna go into the kitchen. And,
Elliot,
I think we all need some alcohol, to be
Mm.
honest.
make that roll for me while you're contemplating all of this craziness.
Oh my. Okay. Do I? Okay, so this is my question. Do I still get a +1? Do I get to move my stability up 1?
You get to move it
I
up
thought
2. If
Yay.
that's
Okay, but I
Yes.
still get. So now okay, never mind. That
she
answers my
almost went the opposite way with that. You was almost to lose stability during that interaction, but she brought it back
Stop,
around.
I brought it back.
We had a good
was just
moment.
weird and
Don't ruin
awkward.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, make me a roll. Now, since this is your first roll for this particular advantage, this is not you making this particular move. This is this move finding you. Does that make sense?
Yep. Gotcha.
What'd you roll?
Oh, a 17. Sorry.
I suppose I could probably just look.
I blanked out for a second. I'm
It's-
sorry, I was reading.
It's funner to have you hear it. So when you're sitting there, you aren't going to get any extra edges removed or something. I might, if the situation comes up, give you a benefit, but you don't have any control over this advantage in this particular scene. However, you've always had this sort of sensation of being able to read a room, walking into a room, feeling it out. Now, sometimes it's obvious. You walk into a room where people have had sex. That's obvious. A lay person can sense that, right? But you walk into a room where a very subtle couple might be having an argument, and they're usually pretty good at it, keeping it out of sight from their friends, in plain sight, so to speak. You can pick up on those sort of things. It's made you an empathetic person. right? It makes you a person who is easily broken. You have feelers. And as such, this new sensation is almost overwhelming. It would be what I would like the movies try to describe somebody who just becomes a vampire or something, just this complete over flooding of new feelings and sensations, except this is not good. This is the sensation of negative, of bad, of evil, if there is such a thing, because what you feel is the sensation of a head as big as Daisy's house, like peering around and looking at it. That's how enormous of a sensation it feels to you, as if you're being watched, but far beyond just being watched. You know what I mean? It's difficult for me to even describe it except to like that. It's as if a god has like leaned down and peered at you. Only you felt it in a physical sensation. You'll soon probably learn how to sense it coming up on you, and that might have been some of the sensation that was leading to all of these, crazy topsy-turvy emotions. Who knows? But in this moment, and because you're broken, you panic. This is an intense enough sensation that it will jump you out of your seat and cause you to cry out loud, as if somebody had, goosed you or something with a cattle prod or something like that, something crazy and unpleasant. Okay. So that's, everybody hears Elliot, and this is a new one. This is not her doing her usual emotional I'm broken scream, right? That nobody really has realized yet. This is new. This is like, this, Daisy, this alerts you. This scream does not make you roll your eyes in any sense. This makes your ears perk up, because as soon as you hear it, you feel it too. It's the same one that you've felt. Not as strongly as she does, but you feel your feels. And you know that whatever that was, that blacklist thing is outside. Watching.
I'm gonna react on instinct then. If I have this feeling and she's making this noise and drawing attention, I'm gonna quickly come up behind her and try to cover her mouth with my hand.
I mean, I don't move. I kind of let it happen because I'm just like frozen in.
Yeah, you're broken anyway. She's gonna.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty much like you could again ragdoll just about as much as you want.
So that's easily done, Daisy. What's your mission? What are you thinking? What are you wanting to do?
There wasn't too much thought into it. It was just something's on to me, and all these people are caught up into it, and she's making it worse. So I clamp a hand over her, and I kind of tuck her head like forcefully against my shoulder, and you need to be quiet. Now is not the time. All right, whatever it is you need to calm the fuck down, I can find it in this house, but you need to stop that right now.
She starts to kind of pull your hand down so she can talk.
I loose one finger.
There's something out there, Daisy.
I know. And y'all need to sit down and be fucking quiet, for Christ's fucking sake, so I can explain. Or try to. And I slowly loose my other fingers and let her go.
I just calmly, but not very calmly, like sit back down on the couch, but this time closer to Sabella.
Brian, how you doing on the whiskey?
At this exact moment, I come back in with 4 scotch glasses in my hand and a bottle of just your average bourbon. Set them down, pour the 4 glasses, and then I hand the bottle to Daisy since there's 5 of us.
I'll take the bottle. Bourbon. That was the right move.
Cheers.
Y'all are going to need to take a drink for a minute. And I cheers with them.
Brian just slugs it.
All right, so it's common knowledge around the town that I was in a war. There you go. I'm a veteran, got all the benefits and shit like that. It's great. Thanks, government. But I'm about as new to this. Well, maybe not so much. Shit, I hate public speaking. I kind of like slap my hands together and pace a little bit. All right, so I was in a war and something happened in that war, and it's something that's a little beyond my comprehension at this time, but it's something unnatural, something not normal, something that we're not used to. I got lost with some good folks, some members of my squad, and I reach down into my shirt and pull out a chain and several dog tags jingle on the end of it, and I jingle it about for a minute and then loose it and let it hang out on the outside of my shirt.
I'm going to need you to pause here, Daisy. When you pull the dog tags out and jingle them around, a lot of things start to happen. I need
God.
Eleanor, Sabella, and let me double check my notes here real quick. You guys are going to both roll +0. And
my speech. It's going to be spooked.
I'm checking Elliot here too. Oh yeah, Elliot, why don't you make me a roll too?
For 0?
Yep.
Yikes. That was bad.
Oof. Mine wasn't any better.
Yikes.
3, an 8, and a 7.
Those are all not better than 9s.
No. Your speech, Daisy.
Daisy, you're kind of, you're pulling out the dog tags, you're looking at them, and you're getting ready to just, you've reached a moment, right, where you've exposed yourself, and you're ready to let these people in on it. And just as you're about ready to just lay it all out on the line and really tell them and explain it, Elliot, Sabella, and Eleanor all begin to convulse.
Oh, God.
Elliot seems to have a bit of a different sort of reaction. There is a loss of control over your bodies. For the other two, you're being handled and poked and prodded and examined by 1,000 forces in your little convulsions. That's what's happening in your mind. At least that's what it feels like. Elliot, you're not having this happen to you, but you're watching it happen to them. And you feel the excitement of these spirits, ghosts, energy, whatever it is that is now seeming to be, appraising their prized hams or something, picking a cantaloupe. That is a sensation. You don't see any of it. Nobody sees anybody, anything. That is what it feels like. A horrific sensation, I would think. And you are helpless to do anything. You can't move. You can't scream. You got out a little bit of a squeak when you started up and saw this happens, and all you see is just black. And it's not even black. It is almost the lack of black. It is so black. It's back in black.
Okay, ACDC.
Can't help it. You see that everywhere. You see it swirling around the dog tags, but you can't do anything about it. Brian, what do? You see all of this happen. They're convulsing. She's, I don't know, in some weird sort of state.
Yeah, I look around and I realize everyone's kind of like wigging out. Possibly in medical, like need medical attention. So I just kind of.
Yeah, Sabella's got some stuff, like she's spitting up some foam or something.
I go over and I like just start checking on them. If I can put a pillow under their heads at all. Just to kind of keep their head secure.
Daisy, what do you do?
I stop talking and check on Sabella. Like I drop the dog tags and shut my mouth and just instantly step over to her. And I've got one hand on her shoulder and the other one cups behind her head. And I'm confused. I'm not sure what to do. Just kind of holding her.
Right. Well, you have to take care of your friend. And as you do that, and these feelings of, well, you were a soldier, so the first feeling that comes to my mind is responsibility, that they're in your house and something terrible has befallen them. You think you know what it is. Elliot's actually seeing it, although you don't really get that sort of confirmation. However, you've got a good gut instinct, and now that you've had these moments with this thing, you know the sensation very well. So there's also that you didn't get to warn them a little bit earlier that starts to haunt you, and plus already being sort of traumatized with the guilt of everything anyways. I just can't help but pile more on. And that's when inside your mind you hear a voice, and it's not familiar, but and yet it is. It's the voice you expected it to have. I don't even know what that voice sounds like. I've tried to come up with one and I can't. So I'm just going to use mine. But you did this to them, Daisy. You know that, right? You and your godlike nature. You did this.
I wasn't the one who led them to my house.
No.
Don't try to put this on me.
You don't think you led them here. Why are they all here? You think they all came here for me?
Oh, I think they were running from something. And she's like saying this out loud, kind of talking to herself, but still holding Sabella as she convulses. They were running from you, but I'm done running from you. And you're trying to drag people into this mess?
Daisy, you've never run from me. It's about time for you to come home, don't you think?
I am home.
We'll see. That's where we're going to end it. Because I like that one. And we get to pick up right there when we come back. Only, hopefully, we'll have Roy Applebaum with us, who unfortunately is lost in that same world that I was not that long ago, the wonderful world of retail, where I'm surprised that he's been as lucky to have as many Friday nights off as he's had, but I know he's had to probably work his ass off during the days to get them. So I just feel bad that he's out there grinding right now. So I'm sure he'll come home and have a good break. So here's one to you, Chris. Thank you, players, so much. I hope that you enjoyed that little bit of torture. I had a bit of fun tonight. We got to learn a little new stuff, about you guys. Does anybody have anything big? I'm not going to make us go around the whole table, but if somebody has something that they want to shout out, now's your chance to shout it out.
Come get on our Discord. Our Discord is lots of fun. Izzy's in there and he's screaming. So come meet us, come meet all the other mods, and come have fun. We have memes and all sorts of shenanigans.
It really is probably almost, I mean, other than coming and watching the 3 fabulous shows that we have running right now, you know, The Place of Wrath and Tears every other Sunday. It's you thought I got deep tonight. You should see those guys. Just trust me. I get uncomfortable even saying what the subject matter is. It gives me chills. So you have to come watch it. I can only show it twice a month. I can't show it every week. So just come watch it every other Sunday. Sinners and Saints has got 1 or 2 more episodes left, and then they're going to be done for a little while. They've got some other projects they're going to work on, and then Adam's going to be back. Hopefully the whole crew to do something, maybe another Sinners and Saints, maybe something else. I don't know. He's been eagerly working on all kinds of really cool ideas. It's been pretty unique and enjoyable. We have got all sorts of stuff cooking. If you were here at break time and you saw, or whenever it was, that the reel was going back and forth, it's because there was supposed to be a video in there, and I was trying to figure out why it wasn't going. That was the new updated version of all of our spring shows that I have to announce thus far, with the updated and correctly spelled, in some situations, artwork. But one thing has to go wrong, right? Because, well, it's Curtis, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. You don't have to feel bad for me. I do self-deprecating comedy. So anyhow, they're all staring at me like I'm a big nerd, and I will ramble on forever. So, yes, do all the likes, tweets, follows, all that stuff. Twitter, YouTube. YouTube's really important. Go over there. We're almost to the halfway mark of what we need to get to monetizing as far as the subs go. We've blown past the hours needed as far as views, because you guys all watch our stuff, and it's really appreciated. Patreon is going through changes. Most of you know, because you come watch me during the day when I do off stage, and hear all of the secret squirrel stuff that I tell. Oh, I talk all kinds of shit on you guys too. So yeah. And I tell them they're not watching, so I can. So you'll have to make a liar out of me for that. And that's it. So the reason I have kept them all around is for this, because at the end of every show, like Krista told us, everybody else has got to say it. We want to say, be kind to each other, wash your hands, good night, sweet dreams, and we love you.
Good night.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Love you.
We love you.
We love you. This is...